Hi, how are y'all? My name is Callie Wise. I'm the Student Success Manager at eCampus, and I'm doing this video so you guys can get some information about eCampus. I've got a lot of information from you guys from the text that you've been sending in, and most of the questions have been either I have no idea what's going on or what to do, or oh my goodness, books. So that's kind of where we're at. I'm going to do a little quick overview about eCampus and what it is and what to expect. And then a separate one probably on the bookstore, kind of do a little more of a deep dive about the bookstore. So first of all, eCampus, what it is and what it isn't and things like that. I'll get into that first. As I said, I'm the Student Success Manager, and my job is to keep you guys kind of informed about what to do for your classes and how to go through it and progress successfully, and be a contact and a resource for you if you need any kind of help. I'm not an instructor. I'm not an instructor for your class, so that's a totally separate person. So I want you to be aware of that. A lot of people think I am the instructor, and so they start assuming they need to send me assignments and things like that. So I'm not the instructor. In that regard, though, you may see on your registration like TBA, TBD, staff, things like that for your instructor. The reason why it's like that, should explain this. The reason why it's like that is because the way eCampus is structured is that we have a partnership with the community colleges and universities across the state. And I'll explain this a little bit more in a minute, but the course developers at the college are actually and instructor are at other colleges. So they are not centrally housed with eCampus. They're not employees of us. So we don't decide who actually gets to teach your class. The campus, like the school that you're going to, may do that. So if you're a student at Southwest, it may be a teacher at Southwest, but it also could be an instructor or somebody at Chattanooga State or Columbia State or University of Memphis. So your instructor can come from any other college across the state. Or sometimes they're even out of state. We've had instructors from Rutgers and many other colleges across the country. So, but they are involved or connected with one of our institutions that we partner with. So why we don't put that on your information on your registration is because right until the classes start, there's sometimes a lot of shuffling going on. And we move students from section to section, or a campus may decide, oh, we don't want this teacher to teach this class, we want to do somebody else. So again, if you're a student at Southwest, the people at Southwest are not going to know this. So no reason for them to put that instructor on there if it's going to end up being changed. And so why would you have somebody contacted Columbia State, an instructor, if they are not going to be the actual person? You'll end up contacting them and say, well, I'm not teaching a class this semester, so it really doesn't make sense. So that's why that's the case with the instructor contact information. That's why you don't have it. You'll have it on the first day of class, and you'll be able to communicate with them on that first day as soon as you get in. Now, history of eCampus and just a little background information. eCampus has actually been around for a really long time. We've been around since 2001, and we actually have had a couple of different iterations of who we are. Back in 2001, we were actually the Regents Online Degree Program, our RODP. And about 10 years after that, we were ROCC, or the Regents On Campus Collaborative. So we've, and just in the last few years, it became eCampus. And within, I guess, maybe the last several years, the universities, University of Memphis, ETSU, APSU, MTSU, TSU, and TTU got their own governing boards because they were part of TBR, which is our governing board, the Tennessee Board of Regents. And so they all got their own governing boards, and I won't say split off, but they got their own. And now eCampus, still part of TBR, but we still collaborate with them. And TBR still manages the community colleges. So this partnership still exists. So we work with them and across these universities make sure you guys have online classes. Now your campuses, they still have online classes. And they are different and they work on different platforms. For instance, let's say your Pellissippi, you're going to have what we call eLearn, D2L eLearn, or Brightspace with Pellissippi, but it's going to have a different login address. So it may be elearn.pellissippi.edu. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but maybe something like that. But ours is going to have a totally different web address that you're going to have to go to get to our classes. So, but Pellissippi's online classes will be at that other web address. Same case would be for Columbia or any others. They're going to have their own separate online classes and online web addresses. But this is just simply to, and you may ask, why we have all these online classes in different ways and stuff like that. It is simply to give you more opportunities to get as many classes as possible, because our entire goal at eCampus is to help students get more classes in a quicker format, in a faster format, and graduate sooner. So they can get out to the workforce. That's our entire goal. So you may be in a situation where you're like, my campus doesn't, my school didn't offer this, or they canceled this, or all the sections were full. In fact, I heard today that a campus had classes full for something that was really popular. And so we had to open more sections so the students could get into it. So things like that happen, and that's why we offer these courses as well online. So students can keep getting what they need, and so they can continue getting their hours and graduate on time. So that's about how we work versus what your school does. It's all the same. It all goes into the same pot. Your courses, your credits are all going to go back. Your grades are going to go back to your school at the end of the semester. We transfer the grades directly back electronically to your school. So it'll go on your transcript. It's not going to look any different than what you take at your school. It's not going to say eCampus. It's not going to say online. It's not going to be anything different. In fact, we know we've had students that have taken all of our classes for their program and had it all online. And it doesn't say anything different on their degree than it does anywhere else. So nobody knows the difference. The employer never knows the difference between them. And if you're a student that is at, sometimes we have students that are at Belmont or UTK or somewhere like that, and they're transferring credits at the end of the semester. If you got to transfer your credit, all you have to do is get a transcript and have it sent to your school. Get a transcript from your home campus, whether it's Columbia, Chattanooga, State, Pellissippi, wherever it may be, and have that sent to UTK or wherever your home institution may be. Usually the records office will take care of that for you. But if you have questions, you can just let me know. I'd be glad to help you. All right, so that's some introduction, just some general overview of some basic information. Now, what I'm going to do is screen share with you a very important site. It's going to have a lot of information on it. I really encourage you to basically save this site, because you can go here and make this kind of your base site, and then everything else will jump off from there. Okay, so do a screen share. Go over here. This is the website that you'll want to spend time with and go to. Probably going to spend a lot of time going to. It's tnecampus.info. Just www.tnecampus.info. You don't have to do anything special, HTTP, blah, 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 all that stuff. Just www.tnecampus.info. Now, across the top, you'll see there's a link for the bookstore, the academic calendar. Down under here, there's information for the students. There's a help link, so you can get to the help desk and go to class. So you can go directly to the eCampus page so you can log in. Okay, we'll get to that in just a minute. Tip about the bookstore. As I get questions about this, and I'll deep dive into this later, but bookstore, should you get your books through our bookstore? Yes. Yeah. Especially if the book is saying that you need an access code. The reason why, and it's complicated about getting books, and I understand this really turns people around about how to handle this. our course developers, and we've got this very fine-tuned with our developers. The course developers, every semester, are asked by our office, by our department, what book are you using for your class? Has it changed? Has it updated? And if it has, they tell us, okay? That information is immediately shared not just with us, but with our virtual bookstore contact. It's all in a shared communication. So it goes directly to them as well. It's changed. So the information that's on the bookstore website is the accurate information for your classes. That bookstore is going to be up to date. It's going to have the most up-to-date information. There will be times where something may be out of stock. It may be on back order. These things do happen, but don't panic. If things are like that, then we can get in touch with the course developer and say, hey, it says on back order. We need to come up with a resolution. So that course developer can get in touch with the publisher and help see what else we can do to help you guys get the book. Sometimes they just don't know. They don't realize that it's on back order or it's out of stock. So don't just let us know if there's some kind of problem with the book, and we can help take it from there. Also, a lot of students say, well, I can get this really cheap, on Chegg or Amazon or half.com. Got a lot of places I can get this without having to spend so much money. And I get that. I understand. And in some cases, you may be able to get around it. Like sometimes a bookstore may say, in the description, it may say a hard copy, paperback, or something like that. And you may be able to get those at Amazon or somewhere else a lot cheaper. But if you got an access code, or if you're using WebAssign or Pearson product or Cengage or something like that, especially if it's a math or science class, I wouldn't chance it, because a lot of times you're going to have to do homework within those programs. So it's really not a risk worth taking. Academic calendar. The academic calendar that is listed here is for T&E campus. And I've mentioned this to a couple of people that have texted me so far. The academic calendar that we have is not the same as what you're going to have at your campus. The schools have their own schedule for their own courses. Our academic calendar has a different schedule for our courses. And they're also different. There may be deadlines that are different for us than there are for you. So our midterms, our final, or I'll say midterms and refund dates, things like that, may be a little different than what you have for your campus. So please check your campus's academic calendar if you're taking their courses. Now, you can check our academic calendar when it comes to stuff for us. So if you're like, what's my refund date? Or if I want to drop a T&E campus class, check our academic calendar. But if you're concerned about a refund date for one of your campus classes, then you need to check your school's academic calendar. Okay, now the big section that we have here, the student section, I'm going to hit some of the high points here. This is really got tons of information on it. It's a really good go-to section. All right, so course and semester information. That is the same thing as the academic calendar. All right, should just list it like that. I guess that would make more sense. Of course, semester information has all those different calendars, and it'll give you the past, current, and future academic calendar. Contacts, these are our student liaisons. Now, your student liaison on your campus is going to be those people who can help you with course-specific, campus-specific information. There are many things that here at T&E campus I can't do, or that we can't do. For instance, anything dealing with tuition, financial aid, payments for your courses, like payment plans, veteran affairs, accessibility accommodations or disability accommodations, things like that. These are things that we don't have control over. So your student liaison at your campus will be the ones that you'll need to talk to. So you can get to that information under contacts. Every campus has a person that they can talk that you can talk to. So no matter where you're at, you can go there. As I mentioned before, we do use the D2L Brightspace/eLearn platform for learning. So if you're coming from a school that has like Canvas or Blackboard, this will be different, but it shouldn't be that major. If you've taken online classes before, you should be able to adjust. If you're a current student at one of our other campuses like Pellissippi or Roan or somewhere like that, you've been using D2L eLearn already. You just may have some functionalities that we don't have. I know some schools use the chat features and things like that. We don't have that. Some things we turn off for security or privacy reasons. So you just may not have access to a few things, and it may work a little differently. For instance, like our email system, I think some schools allow students to be able to send emails from like their school email into their D2L email. You can't do that with ours. It's all internal. So, and the reason why that is because our instructors, since they may be at another school, say for instance, Southwest, and you're at Columbia, they're not going to have your contact information at Columbia. So it doesn't make sense. They're only going to have your internal contact information. They're only going to have the D2L email. So we'll talk about that more as I talk about the learning system or whatever, but we'll deal with that in a little bit. Lots of students have questions about proctoring. When it comes to dealing with proctoring, and I can also again talk about this a little bit more in another piece, but proctoring is for exams. And that means somebody sits down with you and they walk you through the piece about testing for a course, whether you have a midterm or a final. And typically that means that someone will sit with you and watch you take a test. In our current climate with COVID and stuff like that, you're not necessarily going to sit with somebody or have somebody sitting with you. So we have a virtual service for proctoring now, and we're going to be using that this summer. We've encouraged our instructors and our course developers to use that process for the summer. So I doubt that anybody's going to be doing any kind of face-to-face proctoring. And in the bookstore, you may see a mention of a webcam, quote unquote webcam. If you already have one built into your computer, you really don't need the webcam. It just needs to be up to date. It needs to be a pretty up-to-date version. So hopefully you can get that. And I know it says out of stock in the bookstore, but if you can get any kind of webcam, or if you already have one built into your computer or already want an external one sitting around somewhere, that'll be fine. So that's why you have that mentioned. But yeah, we have virtual proctoring, which means you can sit at home and take your test, and you'll be either able to be recorded taking your test, or somebody virtually will watch you taking the test. Student affairs, under this particular section, there is information about whether you need, if you're going to withdraw or drop class, if you need to file complaints, if you have any kind of disability issue, you need information on that, things of that nature. So a lot of details under the student affairs section. But again, many of these, they're going to have to go back to our student liaisons. So again, just mentioning that. Technical support, as far as help desk, and some other student support resources, that means stuff about our bookstore and some tutoring resources, things like that. Tuition and fees. Students ask about tuition and fees all the time. The community college tuition and fees, they're pretty much set. They're going to be the same across the board. Universities set their own because they're on their own governing board now, so they can set their own tuition and fees now. There is an online fee, as many of you already probably witnessed or know. There are online fees, and we're constantly asking about getting the online fee done away with, but that keeps coming back and saying, no, not yet. So even though all the schools charge some kind of online fee, ours just happens to be a little bit more than some of the others. But if you go look at the resources, we do provide resources for libraries, for the bookstores, for tutoring, for proctoring. We've got all these resources too that we provide. So it's a little bit, and we provide it across statewide. So that's why ours is a little bit more than some of the others. Let's see, what else do we need to discuss? Some of this one, we go across the top, see what else we had. Yes, help desk. Get in touch with the D2L help desk. Now, the D2L help desk can only really assist you with technical issues with D2L. So if you, let's say, having trouble uploading an assignment, then that would mean that you can contact them. You can't log in or you get locked out of D2L for some reason. You having some other kind of technical issue. Good to contact the help desk. Let them see if they can assist you with that. There may be some reason why. They may be able to explain it really easily or fix it on their end. So go ahead and contact them. They'll write up a ticket, and if they can't resolve it, then they'll send it to us, and we'll see what we can do. And then, like I said, go to class. Link here for eCampus. One thing I didn't mention at the beginning of this video was that our courses are what we call asynchronous. Asynchronous courses basically mean that you start your class on the first day. All of our classes start after 3 p.m. on the first day of class. And you can access it anytime after 3 p.m. It doesn't mean you have to be on there right at 3 p.m. It doesn't mean you have to, it does not, emphasize not, does not mean you have to be on there every day at 3 p.m. What you do with an asynchronous class is it means that your course opens up. It opens after 3 p.m. on the first day of class, and you can access it 24/7 that semester. I was going to say 365, but that's not the case. You can access it 24/7 during the semester. And you will have deadlines. You will have due dates. You will have assignments you'll need to complete within a certain time frame. Many of our courses will have what we call modules or units or something of that nature. We'll have maybe have different names, but usually it's modules. And within that module, there will be a time frame of completion of work that you'll need to complete. So it may be a week, it may be 2 weeks, maybe the whole semester. You may have a completely open course where they'll just say everything's got to be done by the end of the semester. It'll vary, but typically most courses will say you'll have a week to complete this amount of work. And then the next week you'll complete a certain another amount of work, and so forth. And it'll open up each week. So you'll have that time frame, that week, for example, to complete all that work, as long as you get it done by the due date. You will not have, and you should not have, and if you do, you should tell me, but you should not have required online meetings at a certain time with your instructor or with your class. If you do, that's what we call synchronous. It's not asynchronous. Synchronous classes mean that you would be meeting at a specific time on a specific day live with your class. So those are the two differences. We are asynchronous, not synchronous. With the COVID situation, we have so many changes going on with how courses are going to be run, the different types of formats that we're looking at. So no telling what our campuses are going to come up with for the fall. It may go back completely to normal. It may not. So just want you guys to know that right now, for the summer, we are asynchronous, and you just need to meet due dates and deadlines for the work in your classes. Okay. So I think that covers just about everything. Oh, one other little piece of information you do need to know about your classes, and this will help you for the first few days of your class. As soon as you get logged in to your class, you'll be expected to complete what we call an attendance survey. It's actually a student participation survey. And the student participation survey will be on the homepage of your course. You will have 14 days, including weekends, 14 days from the first day of class, whether you log in that first day or the 14th day. It's only 14 days. Okay, you don't have that 15th day, when it comes, it's gone. You can't get to it anymore, and we can't put it back up anymore. You can't get to that survey anymore. But you have 14 days to complete it, and that records your attendance. This is different than your classes at your campus. At your campus, your instructor will report your attendance. With T&E campus classes, you have to report your attendance. The responsibility is yours, and you have to do it for each class. You do not have to do it for, as some of you may have seen, there's something called a Camp 1000 class and a student orientation class. You do not have to do it for either of those. Those are 2 non-credit classes. The orientation class is a really good intro class for you guys that are new and have not done online classes before, not have done T&E campus classes before, or anything in eLearn. It's going to be a really good course for you to do, but it's not grade connected or anything like that, so you don't have to do an attendance survey for that. But yeah, make sure you get that attendance survey done within the first 14 days. If you're getting financial aid, do it as early as possible because that will release the financial aid. So yes, I want to make sure I mention that. I believe that's all for now. I'm going to do a deeper dive, as I mentioned, into the bookstore, and I may do a couple of others depending on the feedback that I get with the videos. If there's other questions that need to be answered, let me know how this worked for you, if it gave you the information you need, or if you have more that you would like to know, other questions that you would like to have answered, okay? Thank you so much. I hope this helps, and good luck with the semester. If there's nothing else that you need, I certainly hope you reach out if you do. All right? Thank you so much.